going back to your morning sessions, and you're back at starting at 5:30 maybe to warm up, and then eventually you're going to be back to 4:30.
Yep.
What does a successful day look like? We talked about you stare at Facebook, you stare at the page. That
Yeah.
happens. But a successful day, how do you go about the rest of your day feeling like, yes, I did it this morning? What a session.
And that's such a great feeling when you feel like your writing output has met your own personal standard, and everyone's can be different. But honestly, and this is not a very high bar, but if I can type 1,000 words, which is one chapter usually of any of the middle grade books that I'm writing, if I can write one chapter, man, I'm on cloud 9 for the rest of the day. I've got that. I'm like a dog that's been cooped up in the house all week and just went for like a 3-mile run. How they're just that they're empty, like that happy, just exhausted. And I carry that through the day, and I just feel like, yeah, I did it. I fulfilled what I'm supposed to do to, call myself a serious writer. It feels really good. Yeah, I'd say 1,000 words. If I can get 1,000 words down, I'm good to go.
So 1,000 words on average for your 30,000 word book. Are you pretty good about a couple of months? What's your time frame?
Yeah, usually I can, if I don't get sick, I can get a first draft out in a month. I usually get a first draft out in a month. If I'm, for whatever reason, really fired up, and I'm like finding every little moment I can during a weekend, maybe a little quicker than that if I'm really excited about a project. But that's pretty normal. Like last year, it was last year, I started the year by writing. Well, I finished book 5 in the series in January, but in February, that's when I wrote the young adult, that paranormal urban fantasy, and it was a passion project. It was just an idea I had for a character and a set of circumstances, and I just wanted to try my hand at young adult. And it hasn't done much, but writing it was so fulfilling. And it's just over 60,000 words, and it took me 2 months. And then I sent it to the editor, and a couple months later we were able to get it published. But that's pretty normal. 1,000 words a day, I can get a book done, written in a month. And while I'm working on that book, I'm typically, when I have in the margin time, the non-writing time, I'm working on, reviewing the edits from the editor, or reviewing covers, or maybe listening to the audiobook chapters that the narrator is reading. So there's always other stuff to do on other books that are farther into the process. But I usually the first 2 or 3 days of the month is just plotting out the next story. And if I'm going to plot it, which most of the books I do, and then I jump into the writing, and usually within a month it's written. But you have to manage. You might have 2 or 3 books that need attention of some kind at any given time. One's in the writing phase, one's in the editing, formatting phase where you're getting it ready to publish, and then the other one's published, but maybe you need to run ads, or you've submitted it to a narrator and you're working on the audiobook. And then there's like the email list, and I hate marketing so much because I'm not good at it, and trying to manage an email list and all that's all the stuff that moves the needle probably more than anything else. But it's the stuff that I struggle with, to be honest. Trying to keep up with all of that pressure, I think, can distract me from writing sometimes in the morning too, because I'll sit down and I know I need to write. But gosh, I really need to send out this email, or man, I should have posted this on Facebook, or I should really listen to that ACX audition for the audiobook. And I can get distracted by those things that matter, but they don't matter as much as the one thing that matters the most, and that's actually writing.
So we just get time turners like Hermione and Harry Potter, and then we can get everything worked into our day. So 8:30, you're in bed. I believe you. But I mean, is there no time other than that morning where you're doing all this? You know, the ACX, the YouTube, the everything else that you've got going on.
Yeah, I'm really on the weekends, because I'll still get up early on Saturday usually, and you know, my kids sleep in on the weekends, my wife sleeps in on the weekends, so I'll get the normal, you know, 3.5, 4 hours in the morning, but then there's always some extra time too. And so on the weekends I typically don't write. On the weekends I'm typically doing all that other stuff, all the other stuff, you know, sending something out to the email list, or preparing to record a video with my kids, or, you know, posting the necessary, you know, oblations on Facebook and Instagram, just trying to keep up with all of that. So there is time there, but it's not something I do on a daily basis, or at least I don't plan to. I try to chunk all of that into just one big session where I can knock it all out at once, maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then just be done with it for the week. And the challenge with that is just not letting that distract me, you know, during the actual work week when I should be writing in the, you know, in the early morning.
Gotcha. That sounds like an incredibly demanding schedule, and I can see you're pulling it off. So you must enjoy most of what you're up to. I mean, it must feel good. Even the parts that don't feel good, you must have some kind of positive attitude in your approach to that, or you wouldn't get through it.